Hey there, college kids. My name's Clifford Stemmy, the Pop Song Professor, and welcome to my channel where we talk about weird old Relient K songs that Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn dance to while they prepare for concerts. That's right, check out this video. Yeah, so apparently Josh and Tyler both listen to Relient K. That's pretty cool, but it's not entirely unexpected. In Josh's Wikipedia article, it says, I'd hide albums like Green Day's Dookie underneath my bed. Sometimes they, his parents, would find them and get real mad. They'd find a Christian alternative like Relient K and make me listen to that. Of any kid growing up, Christian kid growing up in the 2000s, who didn't have an experience like that where their parents like, this music sounds so probably bad, but I'm not going to actually listen to the lyrics to be able to tell you whether it is or not. So here, let's listen to this Christian alternative. The difference with Relient K is that unlike most Christian alternatives, they were actually good. So anyway, if you don't know, the song they were listening to was called College Kids, and it makes so much sense that they'd be listening to it. And if you watch the video, like, they're both mouthing the words and actually singing it too. Like, they listen to the song, they know the song. And it's a song that is about why you shouldn't go to college. And you might think that me, somebody who is a professor at a college, would dislike this song and think that it was tearing down the establishment or something. And I say, let it burn. Yeah, I actually really like this song. Let's go ahead and listen to a part of it.
Someone please save us college kids. What my parents told me is what I did. They said go to school and be a college kid, but in the end I question why I did.
I love this because, like, if you guys are 28 like me, or maybe a little bit older, a little bit younger, you probably grew up with parents saying, like, you better go to college and your whole life will be taken care of and you got to do this. Like, everybody goes to college who's like us, and so you better go. And verse 1.
I'm poor, I'm starving, I'm flat broke, I've got no cash to spend. Sell all my books for front row tickets to Dave Matthews Band.
So unrelatable. Yeah, so the I'm poor, I'm starving, I'm flat broke, very relatable. In college, I had very little money, but there were always like these rich kids who would walk around with super nice clothes and drive these convertibles that, like, ostensibly their parents bought them, which makes no sense to me. And he goes on into the chorus to sing,
And that's why I say, oh no, not for me, not for me. Call it torture, call it university. Arts and crafts is all I need. I'll take calligraphy and then I'll make a fake degree.
he says, call it torture, call it university. I can assume, like, for a free-spirited guy like Matt Thiessen, that going to school and having to sit in classes between the ages of 18 and 22 would be pretty oppressive. I definitely get that. And the sad thing is that a lot of those classes are fairly useless because most of them are just rehashes of high school classes and what you were supposed to have learned in high school, but the high school teachers didn't do a super good job, and so now you're stuck taking these classes again, the first and second years of college, and it's a waste of time for the most part, especially because most first and second year professors who are teaching those, like, general education classes don't often care. Like, they'd much rather be teaching things that they, wrote their dissertation on or that they're doing research on in the upper levels. But no, they're stuck teaching English 101, which is funny to me because I always liked teaching English 101. I thought the students were the most fun in those early classes. But this next part is so good, verse 2.
80 grand later, I found out all that I had learned is that you should show up to take your finals and your midterms. The party scene is kind of mean. I think it's sick and twisted. The Navy showed up at my dorm and claimed that
He claims that I enlisted, and he's talking about the party scene. Not something that I experienced. I was nowhere near cool enough or had enough free time to be part of the party scene. He says 80 grand later, spent so much money in student loans, I found out that all I learned was that you should show up to take your finals and your midterms. To be fair, like, if you had been listening and paying attention, you probably would have learned more. But a lot of what college is about And there's actually this really good book that you guys will find super boring if you read it, but I highly recommend it. I really love it. It was so good. The Case Against Education, Why the Education System is a Waste of Time and Money. And it talks about how the whole purpose of college and a lot of education is just to prove to employers that we can sit still, shut up, and get our work done, do our homework. And that makes me so mad that people have to go into debt to be able to prove that, and then to come out of college to be able to get a job that is not going to use most of the stuff that they learned in their degree. In fact, 85% of people graduate and then go get jobs that are not in their major. And even if you do, like at most half of your degree is going to be relevant to your actual job. While college can often get you a job, yes, if you have a goal and college isn't part of it and doesn't need to be part of it, then I would say give it a shot. And you have Matt Thiessen with Relient K, or Thiessen, making fun of this whole thing, and of himself a little bit. He says, like, cell phone service, I drop out because college is too hard. And then he talks about how it's his alma mater, good grades aren't what they seem. And he talks about his father, and he says he's proud of me, referring to his dad, but college always was his dream, and I would always say it's not for me. Still, his parents told him to go to college, and he did. And he references that in the outro. They said, go to college and be a college kid, but in the end, I questioned why I did, and he just did it because it's what his parents told him to do, instead of, gosh darn, thinking for himself. And thinking for yourself is difficult, don't get me wrong. I'm literally writing a book about career prep for high schoolers right now. So that's where all of this pent up energy is coming from. But like, if you're going to go to college, you better have a reason you're going to college beyond just like your parents told you to. And if you're not going to go to college, you better have done some research into other options and what it's going to take to get those jobs. You have to take control of your own future. I've literally had conversations with students as a faculty advisor where I was like, so why did you pick that major? And they're like, well, my parents told me to. And I was like, well, you could always switch your major, and my parents don't want me to. And I'd be like, who's paying your student loans back? I am. Like, oh my gosh, you get to make the decision. And Matt gets into that here at the end. He says, do what will make you happy. Do what you feel is right. I mean, that's good advice. I would add to it, do what is smart in terms of long-term financial stability. That's also valuable. And he says, only but one thing matters, learn how to live your life. Yeah, and that's really true. Like, you have to learn how to live your life, not let other people live it for you, not try to live other people's lives. He says, do what will make God happy, some Christian influence, do what you feel is right, and then et cetera, learn how to live your life. It makes so much sense that Tyler and Josh would be listening to this song because they didn't do, like, if you look back at stuff, they didn't do all of the things that their parents told them to do or would have preferred them to do, but they worked super freaking hard. And a lot of people doing the same kind of stuff still fail, but at the same time, what really matters in this situation is that they lived their own life and they took responsibility for it. And I think that's super cool. And I think that's part of what Relient K is poking fun at here. Like, yeah, they're making fun of college being useless, but they're also saying, yeah, I'm also the dope who didn't think about it and just did what everybody else was doing, and now I'm paying for it. And we've all been there. Anyway, I get very passionate about all of this just because, like, I have so much experience with college kids and being one, and really wishing that the world were a better place that didn't try to push everybody into a cookie cutter shape that they don't fit into. Also, this song was a cool excuse for me to tell you about my other YouTube channel called College Hacked. If you want to learn how to graduate cheaper, quicker, in a way that'll help you to build a career that you love, go check it out. The link is in the description. And yeah, I basically take all of the secrets that I've learned as a professor and somebody who graduated college at 18 for under $8,000 to show other people how they don't have to just be like everybody else. And they can actually still be a college kid. You can have the bachelor's degree without being like everybody else and being as in debt as everybody else. And if you want, you can start with the story of how I graduated college quickly and inexpensively. Yeah, when I heard Josh and Tyler singing that song, I was like, two worlds have collided. The explanation of song lyrics, especially 21 Pilots, and being able to rant about college and tell people about my new channel. I think I have to make that video. So anyway, there's the video. Don't go into debt.